This episode is sponsored by Sensama. Stick around till the end of the video to learn more about it. Hello, brains. When you make a mistake, how do you talk to yourself? May I recommend an alternative? While I was writing my book, Dr. Patrick LeCount, a psychologist and How to ADHD's primary researcher, both for the channel and the book, told me a story that he shares with his clients. Imagine an 8-year-old kid who is the goalie of her soccer team. It's almost the end of the game, and a player from the other team is about to take a shot at the goal. Our goalie guesses which way the ball will go, dives in that direction, and misses it completely. The ball flies in the other direction and into the goal. The game is over, and her team loses. Coach A calls her over. He starts yelling, "What's wrong with you? You cost us the game! We went over this in practice. You knew what to do." The kid feels terrible and goes home, defeated. The next time there's practice, or maybe even a game, she says she has a stomach ache and stays home. Now imagine that same scenario, only this time, Coach B calls her over. "Hey, come here. Remember, when you're trying to figure out which way they're gonna kick it, look at where their eyes are looking and at the positioning of their foot. You got it? Yeah, you got it." The kid still feels awful that she cost her team the game, but now she has something to try differently. And the next time she needs to play, she shows up. After Dr. LeCount tells this story to his clients, he asks them, which coach would you want your child to have if you wanted her to have fun? Everyone chooses Coach B, but he asks, which coach would you want them to have if you wanted them to go pro? Still, everyone chooses Coach B. But when we talk to ourselves, we often talk to ourselves as Coach A. What's wrong with you? You knew this was important. Why did you do it that way? You know better. How could you forget, /miss/mess up something so important, so obvious? For many of us with ADHD, we grew up hearing messages like these and internalized them. They became our default. Many people have asked how I, someone with ADHD, was able to write a whole book when we often have trouble even reading one. To be honest, it was hard. I wrestled with having too much to say. I didn't know where to start. I had to use every single strategy in the chapter on Motivation's toolbox and a lot from the other chapters to get it done. And even still, I missed deadlines. I read what I wrote and hated it. I was embarrassed to show my editor the mess that I'd written, and the Coach A voice crept in. "What's wrong with you? You should have started sooner. This is terrible. Why did anyone let you write a book?" And when that happened, I used the trick Dr. LeCount teaches all of his clients. Notice when you're berating yourself and ask yourself, what would Coach B say? I realized my Coach B would remind me I'd never written a book before. I was figuring it out as I go. Instead of telling me what I should have done, Coach B would suggest I adjust my deadlines based on the pace at which I was writing, ask my editor for guidance, swallow my pride and hire a writing buddy to help me with parts I struggle with. I also got advice from friends. Danny Donovan, who was actually a goalie as a kid, told me, "It can feel like the entire game comes down to you and missing the ball, so it's easy to take all the blame on yourself. But there are a lot of other people on that team who are involved in whether you win or lose. Sometimes the system that you're operating in isn't exactly setting you up for success. Even if it is so unrealistic to expect yourself to save every ball. Come to terms with the fact that you're going to miss some, and that's gotta be okay." So when something I tried while writing the book didn't work out, I tried to learn from the experience. I reminded myself what I could try differently next time. I didn't always remember what I was gonna try next time, but the next time I needed to write, I showed up. This is an excerpt from the chapter on motivation, and it's really cool to be able to share with you here now. Not that motivation is the only thing that matters. It helps to have a game plan too, so I know what I'm even trying to accomplish. Otherwise, I'm just running mindlessly all over the field. Sensama helps with that. With Sensama, you can create an effective game plan for your week. It has a weekly planning mode where you can enter your objectives, basically your goals for the week, and then decide which ones you're gonna tackle and which can wait, so you can actually make forward progress. Wow, yeah, that's a lot, especially on a week I'm gonna be out of town. This is not how time works. If you've got too much, you can choose to push some of it back a week, or more if you want. Daily planning helps you figure out your plays for the day, the tasks that are aligned with your goal so you can move forward toward it. Then you share those with your team by posting straight to Slack and letting them know which obstacles you may run into, which also prepares you to stay flexible and be ready to pivot as needed. There's also a focus mode that helps you keep your eye on the ball instead of getting distracted by what else is going on around you. This, combined with asking what would Coach B say when self-criticisms pop up, is a lot of what helps keep me moving toward my goal. But the best part? Sensama helps me get what I need to get done at work done, and then be done. so I can move forward with my personal goals too. If you'd like to try Sensama so you can build out your own game plan, go to sensama.com/a/Jessica from How to ADHD. It's a long link. We'll also put it in the description below. So please let me know what you think of it and what you're working on. What are your goals this week? What do you want to accomplish? And let me know how that works for you. I hope you found this video helpful. If so, I have a challenge for you. If you'd like to participate, this is a group project. Basically, write down a situation where Coach A's voice pops in for you, what Coach A says, and what Coach B might say instead. I think it would be helpful for us not only individually to try this exercise, but collectively as a whole to be able to read other examples of how we might talk to ourselves. Thank you to my brain advocates and all my Patreon brains for giving me the opportunity to do cool videos like this. Like, subscribe, click all the things, and I will see you next video. Bye, brains. Did you know we have a Discord community through Patreon? When you support the work we do on How to ADHD, you get access to a global supportive community and other Patreon perks. If you'd like to join us, go to patreon.com/howtoadhd.